Art and Talk here. Haven't done one of these in a while. And talk about how comics do ensembles better. In a lot of anime, they'll throw in a lot of characters, but then later on, a lot of them don't get that much development. A lot of them really don't get the development that they need. And the reason is because they have too much. Now, in the West, each and every one of them would have gotten their own spin-off. And so if this was Western comics, they all would have gotten their own spin-off in order to develop them properly, in order to properly develop them. This is one thing that Western comics are really good at, is we are good when it comes to spin-offs and stuff like that. Now, in the East, they like Bleach is a perfectly good example of a bad ensemble. In Bleach, they like to throw in a lot of characters with no possible hope of balancing it all out. Bleach is a terrible ensemble. Like, if you consider it a good show, that's one thing, but it is not a good ensemble, because they have all these characters, and so many of them lack development. The main character gets lost in all the nonsense. All his attacks are pretty much the same. He stays reactive throughout the whole time. Now in the West, when it comes to Avengers comics, keep in mind, Avengers comics are essentially events comics. And on the side, each one of them has their own ongoing series. So if one thing is happening, so if something's happening with one of them, you can just pause it, or you could stop reading it and go read one of their series. And this is one of the things that the MCU really popularized when it comes to movies and television. Now, my comics have been doing that for a long time, but it hasn't been done in movies for a while. So Bleach, currently they're doing the 1,000-Year Blood War, and a lot of people saying that it's a miss from their perspective, and I completely understand the frustration of these people. I completely understand the frustration of Bleach fans, because there's so much stuff going on with no possible way of balancing it all out. It's just too much. Sometimes you just have too much going on. Now, Dragon Ball, the father of Shonen, when they started having a bunch of characters, by the time we get to the Saiyan Saga, they stopped focusing on the lesser characters, because at that point, they've run out their usefulness. I mean, what are they going to do with the aliens? They're pretty much useless now. So he just kind of kicked them to the curb. And it's sad that a lot of shonen anime has to do that, but if you want to keep the elevation without rebooting, so like in Western comics, we often reboot when things have gotten too complicated. They just reboot. But you know, anime isn't a fan of that. So without the reboot option, the only choice is to move some lesser characters to the side, and we never get to see them again. And they're just essentially past their prime now. So, Western comics do ensembles better. See you guys later.